In this presentation, I want to talk about how language affects personal worldview, behavior, and identity. First, I would like to take a look at worldview and how language affects it. Many scientists are convinced that the language one speaks influences the way they see the world because of the words being used in the language and the sentence structure. The American professor George Steiner once said, "When a language dies, a way of understanding the word dies with it, a way of looking at the word." Studies found out the language you speak can actually affect how you preserve the word because each language is full of unique local rules and syntax. A Greek language scientist and his colleagues have been studying the capacity for language to change people's perspectives. In one experiment, English and German speakers were shown videos of people moving, such as a woman walking towards her car or a man cycling to the supermarket. English speakers focused on the action and typically described the scene as a woman is walking or a man is cycling. German speakers, on the other hand, have a more holistic worldview and will include the goal of the action. They might say, a woman walks towards her car or a man cycles towards the supermarket. Part of this is due to the grammatic toolkit available. Unlike German, English has the ing ending to describe actions that are ongoing. This makes English speakers much less likely than German speakers to assign a goal to an action when describing an ambiguous scene. When he tested English-German bilinguals, however, whether they were action or goal focused depended on which country they were tested in. If the bilinguals were tested in Germany, they were goal focused. In England, they were action focused, no matter which language was used, showing how intertwined culture and language can be in determining a person's worldview. Another example is a study of Kai Qin. In the Chinese language, verbs are used in speech the same way, regardless if an event is happening in the past, present, or future. This is what we call featureless languages. Economist Kai Qin hypothesized that speakers of a featureless language are more likely to save money and be more health conscious on the decision-making process. According to Qin, this is because in Chinese, where there is no distinction between the present and the future, native speakers are more mindful of how their current action influences their future consequences. When Chinese speakers make no linguistic distinction between the past, present, and the future tense of an action, this logical follows into a habit of decision-making. The third example is gender in Finnish and Hebrew. Because in Hebrew, gender markers are all over the place, whereas Finnish doesn't mark gender at all. And the study found out that kids who spoke Hebrew knew their own age a year earlier than those who grew up speaking Finnish. Speakers of English, in which gender reference fall in the middle, were in between on the timeline too. That shows how language can influence how people see themselves. The next thing I want to talk about is behavior and how language influences our behavior. In this case, it's really nice to look at bilinguals because multicultural people often adapt behaviors according to the language they are speaking, and most of the scientists agree that speaking a different language makes it easier for people to put themselves in someone's position because they see the world from a different point of view, and they need to do so when they talk in another language. This works also the other way around, as people who can easily put themselves in other shoes have a greater fluency in foreign languages. Example for that is the study of a Japanese professor who ran a survey of Chinese speakers learning Japanese, and he asked them questions like, do you find it easy to put yourself in other shoes and they should imagine how they feel, or can you do impression of other people, and whether they can change their opinion to suit the people they are near to. As he suspected, the people who score highly on these traits had much greater fluency in the new language. The last thing I want to talk about is identity, how language influences our identity. And many scientists think that the language we speak is forming our identity a lot. For instance, as I said before, if someone speaks two different languages, the people often feel like they have two different personalities, depending on in which language they are talking. But on the other hand, many scientists also think that it's more about the memories and the culture that is back the language, which forms our identity, and just a little bit because of the words used in the language. So does language affect personal worldview, behavior, and identity? I think different languages can evoke different memories, and there are many small things which might us see the world a little bit different, but it's mostly culture and experiences which is strongly influenced by the language. And language is mainly the key to the different culture, which most likely changes worldview, behavior, identity, and identity in a certain way. That are my sources.